Oh, hold on, Cece. Lucas. Look at the cocks re-breaking. What happened to that horse?
The cock.
The cock juice is flowing today, boys.
So, Aaron, Mike and I were talking about what's the cutoff point for Life is Good. Like we had at the Breeders' Cup, it was like, don't bet him below this price. What is that for Life is Good in this race for you?
Right now, like there's no
1-2?
reason to bet this horse at 1-2. There's just not. And he may romp and it may be free money, but to me, it's like if he's sitting at like Gulfstream at 1-2, it's a little different. But you shipped, it's this, it's that. I think you just watch this race unless you like another one of the horses here.
I played some multi or some exotics, so I've got him keyed on top with Chua Wizard because the Japanese are winning everything right now, and this horse was second last year, and Hot Rod Charlie in second, and then those two with Midnight Bourbon in third because I can't imagine him getting second here. So to me, that's a way to play this, a heavy try that way.
Yeah, you have to do something like that if you want to play Life is Good on top. Like, it's just the return isn't there.
Life is Good, I think fourth. Who was that who caught him? Was that Chua?
I'm in shock. I think Hot Rod Charlie was second, wasn't he?
Yeah, Hot Rod looked like he got second.
I thought the one horse ran big too, didn't he?
Aerotrem?
Or did I see the wrong number there just because of
Frankie Dettori wins the Dubai World Cup with Bob Baffert trained Country Grammar.
Unbelievable.
Oh.
Bobby B.
I'm in shock, really, because he looked like he was gone. He totally stopped, guys. I mean,
Hot Rod second, Chua third, Life is Good fourth, Midnight Bourbon fifth. You know what pisses me off? I had all those horses in the wrong order. Well, I didn't have Country Grammar, but I had everybody else behind him there. Oh, man. Wow. So a couple questions about Life is Good there. Was it the travel? He's never shipped like this before. Was it the mile and a quarter distance? He'd never tried that before. Aaron, what do you think? What was Life is Good's biggest detriment here?
He looked great the whole race until the last how many yards there. So I don't think it was the travel, right? Because I think it's the travel. You just are a no-show. He may have gotten hit square in the head by that mile and a quarter. It may have caught up with him. It doesn't make sense that would have been the.
I would echo Aaron's sentiments. There is probably the main concern coming out of this race. Had it all his own way up front, and I would like to see the fractions and see what we actually ended up getting the fractions at, because that's going to be a big story here. Because the fact that Midnight Bourbon also backed up, and Midnight Bourbon is not mile and a quarter distance compromised, makes me feel a little bit better about Life is Good in that sense, but still not the effort that I think any of us were expecting. And he looked like a winner turning for home and just hit a wall.
Irad was so very calm aboard him, and then once Irad started moving, that's when things went backwards.
It reminded me a lot, guys, and this has been a while now. I'm kind of dating myself. It's been longer than I'd like to admit, but like Bodemeister in the Kentucky Derby, he turned for home. He had the lead. It looked like he was cruising, and then when they went left hand on Bodie and he didn't respond, he got caught. And it felt like the same thing. It's like, okay, he's going to go left hand. Let's see if we get a little more. He's not responding. And it was just like, wow, I can't believe he didn't respond. And I'm thankful he didn't run that race at the Pegasus, or I would have lost a lot of money. So thankfully he did it in Dubai, but yikes.
Oof. That was, man, what's running through my head now is that Bob Baffert won that race, a race that, $12 million purse, a race he's won before, beating a heavily favored former trainee of his. And now he's facing, he's lost his 4 Derby horses, his 4 Triple Crown horses. This is all he's got right now is this horse. And he's about to lose that for 90 days. So Bob Baffert, one giant ass middle finger to the world on his way out to his 90-day vacation, Aaron.
Well, I mean, he just ran second before this in a $20 million race, and now wins a $12 million race with this horse off of monster layoff. Like, at least he can live nice for those 90 days now.
He can pay those employees. They tried making a whole dumbass sob story about how if Baffert has to disband his stable for 90 days, all of his employees are going to go unpaid. Here's how you pay him. Whatever's left from Clarkie Brewster's retainer, you give to your employees because you just got a shit ton of money, Bob.
It's really quite unbelievable what he's done with Country Grammar. Remember, Country Grammar was very average with Chad Brown. And since he's been to Bob Baffert, he's just been otherworldly, we'll call it, as he's now a world champion on the world stage here. It's funny. Like our buddy Ryan Stillman, he was texting me. I got to give him a shout out. He said, if Life is Good loses here, it kind of ruins like the next half of the season or the rest of the season. It'll be so disappointing. And I'm like, no, it won't ruin. But as I sit here now that it's happened, it's like Bob Baffert just won. Life is Good didn't even hit the board. It does kind of push the season to a lower level for me now as far as excitement on the main stage. That was a gut-wrenching loss.
I mean, I as a bettor, I'm like, great, I get Life is Good at hopefully a little bit better price down the road here. Like that's the first thing that went through my mind watching this, is because I still like this horse. I don't think, we'll see how this horse comes out of here. But like I said, because Midnight Bourbon backed up as well off the pace, I'm not as concerned about the miles and quarters I would be if Midnight Bourbon went on with it off that pace. I mean, they both essentially ran about the same race. And I back in the US, I mean, am I really going to pass on Life is Good at Gulfstream or like the Breeders' Cup's at Keeneland this year? Yeah. Last time the Breeders' Cup was at Keeneland, it was a conveyor belt. I mean, isn't this exactly the type of horse that you want for that type of race?
Well, the question is, though, what happens after this? This obviously is going to take a lot out of him. Where does he show up next? Does he have a Dubai bounce in him? And then all of a sudden, yeah, he may get to Keeneland and he's like got some real flaws on the resume, right?
Well, you're going to see him in New York next, right? I mean, he'll probably run once at Belmont, then be at Saratoga, be in the Whitney, and then you're going to see him go to the Breeders' Cup from there, I'd say, since it's a Pletcher horse.
So probably the Whitney is the race where we're going to have to make our decision on him, because the next race, like I said, he may show up and run really well, he may not, but then that Whitney, that's the one, right? And a mile and eighth at Saratoga, you'd think he'd be able to handle it, but I gotta tell you, I know it's conveyor belt at Keeneland last time and all that stuff, but that horse got beat by Hot Rod Charlie today at this distance. Okay. That's a pretty vulnerable horse going a mile and a quarter until he proves it again to me.
Excellent. That's what I want to hear. That's why I'm going to get a better price.
Well, and here's what I was thinking too, is if I'm Pletcher, like I probably want to keep him away from a mile and a quarter again until the Classic. So that will also just make, I mean, it's fun. We're frustrated because it's not going to be an easy answer for us as handicappers, but it's going to at least be good content and debate for several months leading up to it.
Hey, remember this time we got 3-1 on Nick's Go?
Yeah,
we did. Remember,
we might be saying the same thing after
he lost the Met Mile, and we were like, "There's no way he's going to lose the Met Mile." And was he off the board in the Met Mile or no? Just
he was off the board.
There you go. Well,
but to be fair, what did we say? The Whitney will tell us. Well, the Whitney kind of told us with Nick's Go. Remember, after the Met Mile, he went to the Cornhusker. Okay, great. He won. He got a huge buyer. He faced nothing. He still looked like a beast, but still, what's he going to do? Whitney, there's Maxfield, and no way he can beat him, right? Yeah, he beat him really easy. So
Maxfield.
we're going to, exactly. It's so laughable to think about, but we're going to know that race, if it's the Whitney, the Woodward, whatever, that's going to tell us. And I mean, maybe he can win that race, but you like the last eighth of a mile, we're really going to look hard at this horse. How is he finishing up? Because the Pegasus, he finished in a stranglehold, but this is that next time that he stretches out to 2 turns is going to be interesting. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people analyzing that. I'm telling you, that horse stopped today, guys. He stopped.
On a track traditionally speed favoring in the past, especially on this night of all nights. So, listen, it was a lot of fun. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. Are you team Mike Somich? Are you team Aaron Halterman? Which way do you want to go with Life is Good moving forward? And by the way,
no. You're not throwing that on me. I'm not saying he can't win it. I'm saying his races all of a sudden become very important to analyze, like Nick's Go.
I mean, we do
There's
2
no
videos
teams on this. I'm not taking a team for a race.
We only work in absolutes, Aaron. It's either one or the other. No waffling. The waffles are only for breakfast, which I'm about to go have in a few minutes.
We've done 2 videos, and Aaron Halterman hates Life is Good in every race moving forward and has Crown Pride on top of his Kentucky Derby list.
No.
We did see that. Yes, you can go check out the full replay and reaction to Crown Pride winning the UAE Derby and probably over at racingdudes.com and youtube.com/racingdudes.
It'll be a long day.
It is going to be a long day. We're going to be back with a live coverage of the Pick 4 at Fairgrounds. So make sure you tune in. youtube.com/racingdudes. That starts at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll see you over there. He's Mike Somich. He's Aaron Haltzman. I'm Magic. We'll see you at the track.
This has been a presentation of racingdudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels, never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,